Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'm Ryan Marshall, principal here, and I love my job. These students up here, the energy and the positivity, and a little bit of nervousness for their first concert it's just wonderful to see. I've been a principal here for a long, long time, and I always enjoy these nights, and I've seen them at all levels and all that stuff. But this first concert for these kids really kicks off their experience, and if they choose to continue with the world, it's nothing but positive and really wonderful for our students all the way through. So I really invite you tonight to enjoy your children, your students, these third grade students. They have worked so hard. I could not be more proud of them. They're coming off a week where they're doing PSSAs, they're doing this. They had to get, thank you by the way, had to get the night rescheduled because electricity matters. And they have just been working really, really hard. Students, I want you to know that third grade is a big year. It's a big year. And you've all risen and you've chosen to take on an instrument and expanding your skills. So I could not be more proud of you as your principal. And I wish you nothing but the best tonight, okay? For your first concert. Miss Smith-Gonzalez is really the best. She and I really got to work together closely this year. You did not come to hear me talk about how wonderful this place is or how much I love my job. So I'll turn it over to Miss Smith-Gonzalez for a wonderful show. Please enjoy. All the best, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Miss Smith-Gonzalez, and I'm happy to be here and have such a wonderful group. I did want to say, as you can see, we're a pretty large group. We can't fit all on the stage. So the last time we had a group this large was actually before the pandemic. And even then that year when I had over 50 students in the beginner's orchestra, we didn't even get to put that show on because that was the year that we had to cut the school year off early. So this is the first time that we have a group of over 50 beginners on the stage here at Evergreen, and I'm just really excited. So the way this concert was designed is that it's supposed to kind of tell a story of how your child learned their instrument, starting with their very first song, and then leading up to some of the more recent pieces that they learned. The first song that they'll be playing today is titled The Ant Song, and it taught them the names of their open strings. This song comes with lyrics that go, each and every ant, digging in the dirt, going underground, ground, so they don't get crushed. I'm sure you have heard it. Let's give it a listen. We're going to be using pizzicato, so we do not need our bows. Learned their open strings, they learned how to put their fingers down on the fingerboard, which led them to the song Lagoon Choo Choo. In Lagoon Choo Choo, the students learned different rhythms, different lengths. This song actually comes with a little bit of a story. It's supposed to sound like a train that starts picking up speed, blows its whistle, and then slowly comes down to a stop at the next station. So once again, this was Lagoon Choo Choo. The next piece they'll be playing demonstrates their D major scale. So this piece is the first song that uses all 8 of the notes that they learned in their first year, and it is titled Polka Dot Waltz. In this piece in particular, we also got the opportunity to learn about a musical marking called a fermata, which is when the conductor holds up the hand and the students must hold out that note for as long as the conductor is holding it. I'm not going to play any games with that, at least the way that we did during rehearsal, but it's one method for us to stay all together. So once again, this is Polka Dot Waltz. So I do have the music a little bit out of order, at least in regards to when they learned it. After the students learned all 8 of the first notes, they started to learn how to read music. So the next piece they'll be playing is their first song where they identified the notes themselves and they wrote the letters underneath, and it may be a little familiar to you. The title of the piece is called Mozart Melody. notes in and identified their notes. But the next song we'll be playing is the first song that they actually read music without any letters in it. This song is extra special because it is tradition that they learn the harmonies for the song using open strings in 3rd grade as a beginner, and then in 4th and 5th grade they learn the main melody of this song. So now I will be calling upon these wonderful students to the side here who will be playing and doing a duet with the beginners. So please just give us one moment to make that transition. So I've always wanted to do a little bit more with these duets, bringing in the older kids to kind of be a good support and a good model for the younger students, and also to give the beginners a better idea of what they'll experience when they're in 4th and 5th grade and if they decide to continue playing their instrument. So this year I found a play-along for the song We Will Rock You that had a part that matched what we had in our beginner's packet almost exactly. But the verses of the song were just a little bit too challenging for the beginners. So I thought, well, why not give it to the older kids? So here we have a nice little duet of We Will Rock You, featuring our 4th and 5th grade volunteers and our beginners. call upon a little bit of help with percussion, well, Mr. T will be helping us out, and you're very, very welcome to stomp, stomp, clap.
Wonderful adults leading it. Smith-Gonzalez. They're an example of the adults in the music department all the way up, all the way from Mr. Overholtz, the high school band director, one of the best people I've ever worked with. It is really a great program. So your young folks are getting involved in something. If they choose to continue, that really does add a lot to the district, but more importantly, adds a lot to the kids. So it's really wonderful. Also want to recognize before we get going, they just walked through, I was going to try to catch them, but our custodians turn this over around like 3 times a day. And they turned this space around for us tonight. So we're seeing the custodians moving there. Just say thanks to them. They work really, really hard. And we could not have any of this without them. Also want to thank Officer Vogel, who comes out to everything. I said, Mr. Vogel, you don't have to leave your nights. Like, I'm here for the kids. So without further ado, these students have worked really hard. We know that from the sound of you coming from the bedrooms, living rooms, and other places in your homes. They've also been working with Mr. Gregg. I've known him for years. He does an amazing job with these kids. So without any further delay, I'll turn it over
sometimes I have to do that way down here, but it's not as bad. Welcome everybody. Thank you for thank you for being here tonight. Only about 2 weeks late. No big deal. No big deal. But it's worth the wait for these kids, and their first of what I hope to be several more concerts to come. Thank you, Mr. Marsh, for that wonderful introduction. Too kind. And definitely big thanks to Mr. G and Ms. Smith-Gonzalez for helping coordinate making tonight an actual thing that happened. It was not easy, but we were able to squeeze it in. If you have seen a concert like this before with our beginning band or beginning orchestra, you know that we tried to demonstrate what it's like going through basically their first school year of instruction on their instrument. I did some math. I know this is music, but I did some math. And I believe so far, if the kids have not been sick, if there have not been any weird schedule things or snow days, or if I haven't been sick, at the most, they've had 10 hours of instruction with me so far this year. So what you're seeing is the work of 10 hours in school, but I know a lot more hours that they have put in at home. So pretty impressive that they're gonna do a concert with just 10 hours. I'm not going to show you everything from lesson number 1 up until this point. You're not going to get to see how they put the instruments together. That is a lesson. You're not going to see where their fingers go, or their hands go, or how to breathe, or anything like that. But I am going to show you all, and these guys, if they remember, they're going to show you too, how they play their first 5 notes. Because once we get everything going, you need at least 5 notes to be able to play most of the songs that we're going to do tonight. So, here are their first 5 notes. We're going to play them up and down. Hopefully you'll be able to figure out when they're done. And once we learn how to play those 5 notes, we do a whole bunch of other exercises and patterns and fun things. And then we put it together for the first time in their first song that uses 5 notes. This is called First Flight. They really like playing a lot, so they're actually going to do it 2 times for you because of the repeat. Here we go. Since they like playing their instruments so much, the next song that we're going to do is double the length of the last one. This one has 2 lines worth of music. This one is listed in your program as Rolling Along, but you probably recognize it by a different title. See if you can recognize this one. Rolling Along, also known as same melody as Mary Had a Little Lamb. Hopefully you recognize it. All right, so we just played a whole bunch of songs where we're doing quarter notes and quarter rests and nothing else. So the kids have a responsibility to make sound or make silence. That's the only option. For the next tune, however, we're going to extend things a little bit, and we're going to delve into 2-beat sounds and 2-beat silences. This is the beginning band national anthem, Hot Cross Buns. All right, now we're going to combine all those sounds together, and this next one is Go Tell Aunt Rhody. They also like playing this one so much that they're going to play this song twice as well. So they have only, by the way, had one rehearsal as an entire group together, and I think that was about 2 weeks ago. It was Friday, I think, on stage. So they're doing a really nice job playing together for very, very limited rehearsal time. At this point, I'm going to invite many of them, not all, but most of them are going to share with you some bonus songs. These are songs that included extra notes that we may or may not have gotten to, depending on where the kids are in their development process. The first one that we are going to do should be familiar to those of you that were at the orchestra concert earlier. This is a Mozart melody. All right, and our second bonus song with some other extra notes. This one is called Doodle All Day. Raise your hand if you're playing on Doodle All Day, just so I know. Keep your hand up if you really want to play it 2 times. That's right. Okay, this is Doodle All Day. 2 times. 2 times. All right, our percussionists, they actually are performing double duty this evening. They have to learn how to play keyboard instruments like bells and xylophone and vibraphone and marimba, and they also have to know how to do everything that relates to drumming. So I always want to try to make sure I provide as equal as possible an opportunity for them to play roughly as many notes on the bells as they do on the drums. They have a lot of drum notes in the next couple songs. And they're almost ready, so I have to talk just a little bit longer. So we're going to do 2 songs with them on the drums, actually on the drum pads using their drumsticks. The next piece that we're going to do showcases most of the students learning whole notes, extending their air for 4 full counts, also some whole rests. And our percussion squad learned how to do what's called a multiple bounce technique, which will prepare them eventually to do drum rolls. So drum rolls, if you don't know already, like if you've ever been to any sporting event when they do the national anthem, that's usually the first thing that you hear. And it's a solo, so it has to be really good. So we put a lot of emphasis on that technique. The drums are just about ready, so we are going to do march steps. All right, and just before we do our last piece, I do have a couple of final announcements. Some of these aren't in your programs, but I don't know if everybody got one, so I just wanted to reiterate a few things. First thing is, even though our concert performance is tonight, our work for the year is not done. We are going to continue to have lessons until like the beginning of June, I think until that second week. So if you have your lesson schedule, you know that all the dates are on there. There should be no reason that the dates should change at this point. I don't anticipate any more snow days or power outages or anything strange like that that would cause things to change. So we will continue to have lessons. Tomorrow is an A day, and most of the people that are on stage, maybe like half, of you have lessons with me on A day. So you could just leave your instruments here, I would say. You could just leave your instruments in the band room when we're done tonight. No questions at this time. The second thing is to be on the lookout for information from myself, Mr. G, Miss SG, about camps and lessons and things like that over the summer to keep your musicians musical year-round, even when there's not school here. When you came in this evening, I believe that there is a sign outside the other half of the gym. We have these really, really cool, very, very PV Spirit orange picture frames that say "My First Concert." Please make sure you take advantage of those very, very orange picture frames and get a picture of your student musician with their instrument inside the very, very orange picture frames that say "My First Concert." Got that. The next item of business. We have a scholarship here in Perkiomen Valley, the Robert McNaughton Scholarship. And Bob McNaughton taught in PD for years and years and years at all different levels. I'm sure Mr. Marsh knows who I'm talking about, Bob McNaughton. He was actually my band director back in the olden days when I was in 4th grade and did my first concert. In his memory, a scholarship fund was created, and every year we award that scholarship to a 4th grade band student. And the recipient of the scholarship gets 4 free lessons at community music school in Trapp over the summer to continue their musical journey. These are for free. So the recipient of this year's Bob McNaughton Scholarship, super, super hardworking student, somebody that did not come naturally to at the beginning right away. They really had to work hard at it and persevered through some early struggles, and they've really come to enjoy playing in the band a lot. Congratulations to Grant Bonnekamp. yeah, big congratulations to Grant. I think everybody's face feels a little better now. This is like the most playing they've done in one stretch probably in a really, really long time. Maybe ever, maybe ever. All right, so we're gonna do our last piece for you. Thank you so much for all of your encouragement and musical support through some very, very, very probably non-musical sounds back in September up until today. Really, really appreciate it. Keep encouraging your kids to stay in music. We have a great program here in PD and great music teachers and great people that come out and support us. So thank you so much. This is Lightly Row.